She was always the kind of woman who could own a room, confident, magnetic, just the right amount of charm, though sometimes it tipped into shameless flirting. Back then, I thought it was endearing. Never once did I imagine that the same quality I admired would one day be sharpened into a weapon, used against me, meant to humiliate me in front of the same crowd that once calls the perfect couple. The cracks started showing the night of her office party. Well, not exactly. The night she told me I was invited. It was employees only, she said, just a celebration of a big client win. And me. Tried to be the supportive husband, didn't push back. Still, something gnawed at me. Not insecurity, not paranoia, but quiet, careful observation. The way her phone suddenly needed passwords. The late nights at work without ever bringing a laptop home. The faint trace of cologne I didn't wear brushed off as a new shampoo. I noticed it all, but I stayed silent, cataloging each inconsistency like a timeline of betrayal. Then came the whispers, the half-awkward smiles from her coworkers when I showed up unannounced one afternoon, just to drop off a scarf she'd left behind. That's when I knew it wasn't my imagination. Something was happening. So I stopped hoping and started digging. Not recklessly, but with precision. Fake meetings that didn't exist on the company calendar. Hidden dinner receipts. And then the clincher, a hotel booking in her name, listed for 2 guests. A weekend she swore she'd been away at a leadership seminar. When I asked her questions, soft ones at first, she deflected with half-truths, with tears, with trembling words meant to make me feel like I was the one losing trust. But liars always reveal themselves. They talk too much when silence would save them. That's when I made my choice. I wouldn't yell, I wouldn't plead, I wouldn't even shed a tear. I would wait, because some truths don't need to be whispered. They need to erupt in the open. And she handed me the stage herself. The night she waltzed into the company's biggest black-tie gala, on another man's arm. Her lover. She smiled like I didn't exist, like I was some chapter she had outgrown, proudly parading him through the very circles where people once toasted our anniversaries. That smug look said everything. I've moved on. You can't stop me. But she didn't know. She didn't know I had already reached out to her company's CTO, an old university friend of mine. I'd dropped hints weeks earlier, carefully shared screenshots, nudged him toward her emails, her logs, her expense reports. And tonight, while she basked in her own arrogance, the storm was already waiting behind the polished music and glittering chandeliers. I walked through the ballroom doors in the suit she once helped tailor, uninvited but welcome thanks to a quiet nod from the inside. The moment our eyes met, her smile faltered. Shock, panic, confusion. That was the last moment she had control. Because just then the CTO took the mic before we continued tonight's celebration. There's a pressing ethics matter we need to address. The chatter died down. The scream behind him shifted from corporate milestones to an internal audit. Hotel bills flagged, travel invoices falsified, meetings double-booked. Then came the photos. Grainy lobby surveillance. Dinner reservations showing her across the table from him. Fingers intertwined, kissing, her office badge clipped carelessly to her bag. The room turned into a gallery of silence and sideways glances. She froze. Her champagne glass shook in her hand. Her lover, caught in the glare of exposure, edged away like a rat in daylight. And I walked, slow, deliberate, straight to her. The woman I once vowed to protect. This, I told her quietly, is the legacy you chose. Then I turned to the CTO. I think that's all the context your board needs. As I walked out, the noise rose behind me. Questions, the HR director's sharp tone, her lover denying everything, her voice cracking as she scrambled to spin a story no one believed. But it was already over. The mask had shattered, and all that was left were jagged pieces. In the weeks that followed, she was consumed by the fallout, disciplinary hearings, legal inquiries, a contract cut clean. While she scrambled to salvage the ruins, I carried nothing but quiet closure, because I hadn't gone there to argue, to fight, or to demand. I went to burn her perfect night to the ground. And when she called, when she texted desperate explanations about feeling lost or misunderstood, I never answered. Because you don't bargain with someone who lights love on fire and calls it self-discovery.